Welcome back to the Story Traders podcast. Today's episode is stories about growing up and playing sports.
Little kid sports.
Yeah. Little kids, yeah. I mean, like, our story is when we
Middle
were in,
school.
Yeah, middle school. But,
Still pretty much a
Yeah.
little kid, though.
yep, this episode features Garrett again.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's the charm. Garrett, lead us off.
Yeah, so growing up, I like baseball as my favorite sport.
It's probably
And-
still your favorite sport.
I really like to play baseball, and growing up, it was my number one. But in terms of a fan now, I get pretty excited about my Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. He's brown.
But is there anything exciting about the
Oh, the games are always interesting.
That's true. That's true.
The fanfare is always interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I was
along-
rooting for
along
you
that-
guys when Jameis Winston was with you. I love that guy.
Yeah, I like him.
He's so
He's-
funny. He's not the best.
Not who I would like to see behind center.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, along that line, quick anecdote, Josiah's wife, Isabel, is a Steelers fan.
Yes,
And
I'm
as
aware
you
of
know,
that.
they have this massive rivalry between them.
Yes.
And I remember when Josiah, you and Isabel went to a Steelers game, and you posted, this is while you were dating,
yeah.
and you posted a picture of you all at the Steelers stadium.
And then Garrett,
And
you
Garrett
screenshotted
it and
sent
sent
it to
it to
Caleb.
me, and he was like, "What the heck?
What is
this?
going on
What is
here?"
this crap?"
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so growing up, played a lot of baseball, and I grew up in a town we weren't fielding a lot of kids. It wasn't very big, so not very good overall. When I
Yeah.
look back, we didn't win a lot of games in really any sport.
In any sport.
Yeah, and we had this guy. He was our coach. Both I had him for football and baseball several years. Great guy, really mellow. Coach, never really raised his voice. He was really like the teaching coach, right?
Yeah. I love a mellow coach. I
Yes,
hate the
yes,
coaches that are just
yes.
yelling.
Yeah, he had an assistant coach he was a short guy and a beard like down to his belly button.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
He
goodness.
was the yeller, and they were a perfect match, right?
Honestly, this kind of sounds similar to our coaches. I'm not the same like physically, but one was a yeller and one was real chill.
Yeah, I was gonna say swapped though.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah,
head
for
coach
sure.
was a little bit more yellow.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So there was one year, this was Pony League, and we were actually playing really well. We had a great
Oh.
team, and we had a couple of good pitchers. And so this was playoff time, and we're playing away, and we're the visitors. And I remember I was playing second base, and this guy hit a kind of a smoking ground ball, and it was coming up the hole. And so I move over to my right, and I feel
What
it
does the hole mean?
in between short and second.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's helping
right
me out
up
a
the
little bit.
middle, right?
Right up the middle.
So I move over to my right, and I field it, but now I have to do a complete twist and throw to first. And so I kind of threw this off-balance deal, and the first baseman was my buddy Logan, and I could always count on him for a scoop because that's just who he was, right? And he scooped it, picked it clean. It was beautiful, and it was close. I would say the runner hit the bag pretty close, but it was pretty clear. He scooped it, and the guy's out, right?
Yeah.
Umpire yells safe,
Oh man.
and we were kind of like, as out on the field, we're like, what? How? And my buddy showed the umpire the ball, right? And he said, no, you scooped it, like you picked it up off the ground, essentially.
Oh.
And so he didn't, field it cleanly. So in that case, the runner would be safe. But I assure you, I had the best view.
Yeah.
Not the case.
Yeah.
And my coach, the mellow one, did not have the best view, right? He's in the dugout several yards away.
Yeah.
But he was pretty emphatic about it being an out. And so he started hollering. And I don't condone this behavior,
This
but
is the chill one.
in this instance, it was like, okay, coach is choosing this hill to die on. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just kind of abnormal for him, right?
Yeah.
And he's yelling, he fielded it cleanly. What are you talking about? And the umpire was like, no, he didn't. He picked it up off the ground. He's safe. we're not doing anything about it. We're not changing the call.
Oh, boy.
And my coach is just going back and forth. And it was sort of got to the point where it's awkward, right? Like there's a stands full of all the fans, right? And we're all
It's like, all right, this is
well,
just kid sports.
yeah. And he wasn't being nasty, but just like not letting it die, right?
Yeah.
And we're all just kind of standing there like, oh, this is kind of awesome. And I remember the umpire said, all right, one more word and you're out of here. And my coach is like, all right, that's fine. That's fine. And he always did this thing. He always clapped, right? He always gave the 3 clap, right? And so there was a pause, the pitcher kind of walks around the mound, steps up. And as he's just about to go into the windup, my coach from the dugout does this 3 claps and goes, all right, boys, let's get 4 outs this inning. And the umpire,
Let's get 4 outs this
it was
inning.
great. He just couldn't hold his tongue.
Oh my gosh.
And the umpire yells, all right, that's it. You're out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. And so it ended up being a great game. We played 2 extra innings.
2 extra.
Yep. And we won in extras.
Wow.
Without coach, it was the fire we needed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
In all sports growing up, for
All
sure.
sports.
Yeah.
I love that line. Okay, boys, let's get 4 outs this inning.
That is so funny. Oh my word.
That's fantastic. Okay, so the story I'm going to tell, actually, Kip's going to kind of tag team on it a little bit here.
Yeah. This is basically our stories is just together because we were on the same basketball
middle
team
school
in
basketball team. Good old Genoa. What was our mascot?
I don't even know. It's been so many years since I
Yeah,
was in.
doesn't matter.
The Globetrotters.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Knew it.
So we had joined this team. We were homeschooled, obviously, and this team was a private Christian school. So to get onto their team, we needed to actually do some classes with Genoa. So
we just needed to take one class.
I had taken an art class. I don't remember what class you were in.
Yeah, I took an art class.
Oh, sorry. I was in an art class. Sorry, you were in an art class. I was in PE.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So we're in our classes. We had to actually try out for this team, which was the first time I think I'd ever tried out for a team.
I was so nervous.
Yeah, super nervous. But we actually both made it, which was super exciting. And we get
Represent.
we get this team together, and we win our first game. I don't remember exactly how close it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember I got 10 points.
You got
that
10
game.
points.
Yeah.
Double digits.
And it
Jeez.
felt good.
Yeah.
Man, it felt like we were the local heroes that night.
Yeah. And I remember coming back that evening, and Jacob, our cousin, was asking us about the experience that day. I was like, dude, our defense is so good. It's like Ohio State football defense. Like nobody's getting past us. We are so good. Yeah, that was my last words there, because proclaiming about how good our defense was, because we proceeded to lose every single game, rest of the season game. It's we were 1-10 or something.
Yeah, I think we played 10 games overall, 1-9.
1-9.
It was rough.
Yeah. But it was seriously so fun. I love the camaraderie that we had with that team.
Yeah. The funny thing is what you were saying about your coach getting ejected from the game.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
There was one point at which our coach was so fired up, he got a technical and was kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
And boy, I wish that we could say that was the fire that we needed to pull that game out.
Still lost.
And we still lost.
Yeah.
Still lost.
It was just
that one of the closest games we lost to?
That was I think that was one of
It's
the
like
closer
2
games.
or 4 points.
Yeah, because there was one team that we played a couple times, and the first time we lost by like maybe 6 points, and the second time we lost by like 2 points.
Yeah.
And those were some rough games.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
Heartbreakers.
I remember I couldn't get a layup to save me, and I was just posted down below. I mean, it was rough.
Oh.
Were the losses due to lack of defense, though?
That's tough. Hard
I
to
don't
say.
know. I don't know.
But I just didn't boast about our defense anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah. We had a good time though. We were really close with a lot of those players.
Yeah. And the funny thing is about our coaches is that both of them had the last name of Yoder.
Okay.
So
And neither of them were Amish.
Neither of them were even close to Amish. But yeah, as Caleb said earlier, the head coach was fiery, and his assistant coach was very, very mellow.
Super chill.
The time that the head coach got ejected, it was like, well, Yoder, assistant coach Yoder is here coaching. He might not say a word the rest of the game.
Yeah, he was like very encouraging, and it was great. We had a good time, as much fun as you can have losing.
Yeah.
But it was what a year.
Yeah. A couple small stories I'll share. There was one time, it was about mid-season. So you were a starter.
Yeah.
And it was mid-season, and I just remember I had an excellent week of practice, and let's just say Caleb had a less than excellent game the previous week, and
it was probably that one where I couldn't get any
that maybe was
layups.
Yeah. And then following that not great performance, he had a not thrilling week of practice. So coach pulled me aside that Friday or whatever, the day before the game. He's like, Josiah, you're gonna start this week. I was like, oh my gosh, this is go time for me. I'm gonna do so well in this game, and then I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna play college, whatever. I was just
I'm
like,
gonna put up 11 points.
I'm gonna put up 11 points. It's gonna be
break Caleb's
crazy.
record.
So I was taking Caleb's spot as a starter. So Caleb was gonna start the game on the bench, which props to you, because you had also got that conversation from coach that he was going to start me.
Yeah.
And we went home that evening. No bad words about how I can't believe coach is taking me out, putting you in. Like it was
totally
very
fine.
cordial. I actually was very surprised.
You just woke up to a ball bat to the gut.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was sleeping.
Yeah. You called the coach the next day. Josiah's feeling
listen.
horrible.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
So let's just say I was so hyped to go out there and start, and had all these visions of how that first possession was going to go. I was going to get the first point,
debut.
all this stuff. I was taken out probably a minute and a half into the game, and Caleb was put right back in. Oh, it was so embarrassing.
And that was one of my better games. And I felt bad because it was like Josiah started the game, and then he was taken out, and then I had like a pretty
great
good game after that.
Oh, yeah. I did not score a single point as the starter. It was very sad.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. But
the funny thing about that team was, like, we said we won the first game, lost the next 9 games. The first game, I got 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the season, we had a banquet,
Mm-hmm.
and they just get the whole team together, eat food. The coaches say a few words and give out a couple awards. One of the awards was MVP.
Okay.
And I received it.
Nice.
Because I had gotten the most points out of the whole team. Well, I had gotten a total of 60 points through the whole season. This is how rough that
But it was
season.
a defensive team, though.
It was a defensive team.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
not good enough to keep the other team from getting points.
yeah, you had 60-some points in 2 blocks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty good.
It was, but it was so fun. The main thing about that team was we were just so close. We had so many fun stories, and Josiah has one story.
Oh, you honestly, you can tell.
Okay. So there was this one guy who was basically this was one of the games where we were going to.
It was an away game.
Yeah, it was an away game.
Yeah.
And so we had arrived, and I don't remember exactly what the details were.
It was just at a church where there's signs everywhere, and I think I wasn't actually there when this happened, but I just remember him seeing a random sign.
Yeah. So then at our team meeting, go through everything that we're talking about. And then we're just getting ready. We're just talking to each other, shooting the breeze and stuff. And he was like, did you guys see that sign out there for horse duvers? I have no idea what horse duvers are. And we're like, horse duvers? And he's like, yeah, it's spelled super weird. Horse duvers. And our coach goes, dude, it's hors d'oeuvres. And we're like, oh my gosh. And so that was like probably mid to like early to mid season. And so the rest of the season, we're just like talking about horse duvers and started using it as like an expletive, a Christian expletive.
Horse
so we're like,
duvers.
Horse duvers. It was so funny.
Yeah. Still to this day, we say that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, at that end of the season banquet thing, Adley had put together this whole slideshow of pictures that she'd been taking the whole season. But she had a little surprise at the end because all of us had nicknames for each other, which I don't remember exactly how we came up with them.
Yeah.
But they were just crazy nicknames. But what she did was she went ahead and she photoshopped every person's she had just like an individual picture of each person. She photoshopped their nickname into them. So Adley pulled this up.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't those crazy?
Yeah, so we got Stripes and Juice Box. Literally, the kid whose nickname was Juice Box, she just drew a juicy juice box around this kid and so you just see his head popping out the top. I mean, it was like just.
And then we got Matt in there, MC Hammer,
we had Monster. We had Sunshine.
Oh no, that's Beast.
Yeah, Beast. We had Sunshine. The horse duvers kid. His name was Sunshine. He had blonde hair. And so she just made his hair like super bright. Yeah. So funny. Muffin Man.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
And then I was Vicious. And what were you?
I was Mad Dog.
MVP.
Yeah, I was MVP.
Oh yeah, Beware of Dog.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the two coaches, she did.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
she
drew like.
She put on big old
chin
beards,
straps.
Yeah,
chin
Amish
strap
beards and Amish hats on them for their
Yoder
last name.
Yep,
that's so great. Funny.
So
it was such a fun time. I think about that team every once in a while. I'm like, oh, yeah, what a fun middle school team.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. That's kind of how that baseball team was too. And it's like I remember one time it was practice and we were closing out practice and we're like all sitting in the dugout. There's like maybe 2 or 3 guys still out on the field with the assistant coach who is, the yeller.
Yeah.
And our head coach was like, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. And he was like, we're going to end with a prayer tonight. Okay, this is unique, right? It doesn't happen often. So bow our heads, and he starts the prayer, and the other 3 guys are walking in, right, with the assistant coach. And he comes in, and he says, hold up. And I'm like, what is happening? He just like intercepts the prayer.
This is the assistant coach.
Yep, the assistant coach. And I'm like, what is going on here? And so head coach stops praying, and we all kind of look up, and the assistant coach immediately starts yelling, you boys will take your ass off and show respect. And he takes his hat off and spikes it on the ground in the dugout.
Gosh.
It's like you could have heard a pin drop.
It's like, that was not what I was expecting.
Yes, sir. Hat is off.
Yes. And as just very matter of fact, calm and collected, he turns back to the head coach and goes, please proceed.
Oh, my word.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of good times.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Youth sports, man.
That's fantastic.
All right. Yeah. Leave us a 5-star review, maybe.
Didn't Adley say she left us a comment?
Oh, yeah, she did leave us a comment. Yes. And I did see it.
I have not seen it.
Yep. I'll read it right now.
I mean, it's easy to miss. Just so many.
Okay. So, admittedly, this is our sister, but she wrote us a very nice review. Low-key fan.
Low-key.
Low-key. On Monday. One of my favorite things is being an audience to people relating stories around campfires, dinner tables, and family reunions. This podcast has that feel. Two brothers shooting the breeze, not trying to impress, but remembering when. I like listening on short car rides or while I'm cooking. P.S. I would too have noticed. Everyone knows I have a keen sense of observation, which is
reference to that one comment.
Yeah, reference to a comment about how there's something that someone would have noticed eventually, and we're like, well, Adley wouldn't have noticed for a couple months.
Yeah.
On a prior podcast. But yeah, so thanks, Adley, for leaving us a review.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. We will see you guys next time.